The United States is made up of 325 million people. A great population, we are one of the biggest nations on earth. That being said, over 6.1 million citizens are unable to vote, unable to exercise any other civil rights, civic duty whatsoever because of one nonviolent crime they committed in the past. Alright, there are 10 states where you can lose your voting rights permanently. One of the most infamous is Florida, where over 10% of their population is disenfranchised because of a nonviolent crime they committed in the past. There you cannot serve on a jury, you cannot vote, and you cannot run for public office. There was a story of Desmond Maye, who cannot even vote for his wife because he was committed of a nonviolent felony, and he couldn't even get financial aid for when he went to higher education when he tried to get a law degree. And this happens in 10 other states as well, in which it makes up for 6.1 million Americans. That is nearly 2% of the total population in the United States. So the underlying issue is that not only are we having low voter turnout, it's because they're disenfranchised and they cannot vote. They have a barrier, and that is a problem that does need to be solved.
When you look at the prison population, 3 out of 4 people in prison are black or brown. Something's gone wrong with the war on drugs. There is a racial outcome, and I don't think it's intentional. There was a time in our society where there were intentional incarcerations based on race. I don't think it's intentional, but there has become a racial outcome on who's incarcerated in our country, and I think that's something that has to be addressed here, because not only is the incarceration, I think, unfair, then they get out and the voting rights are impaired. Beyond voting rights, and we're not going to address this today, is also economic opportunity. As I've become more aware of this issue, I've become aware of the problem in our society where people start out in poverty, make a youthful mistake, go to jail, sometimes have child support payments that build up to thousands of dollars, get out of jail, can't pay their child support, can't barely get a minimum wage job, either go back into crime or go back to jail, or go back to jail for not paying their child support. So we have a cycle here of crime and poverty and drugs that we need to try to get out of. I think a step forward is trying to do something about voting rights.
Whether it be tough on crime initiatives or the war on drugs, these people have been disenfranchised to the point because many of them were part of prison overcrowding that was unattended by those who passed the law, but there has been nothing done federally, and many states still do not allow any citizen who has committed even a non-violent offense to vote, serve on a jury, or run for public office. Although many people have been trying to overturn this, it still has become an issue, and it's an underlying issue that has not been addressed. So I'm here to tell you today, what if you made the same mistake? What if you committed a crime that was non-violent? Wouldn't you, as a citizen, as a human being, want a second chance?
Deserve everything that our taxes pay for, and that's including the right to vote.
Harry Hopkins, who served 19 years in state prisons for drug-related offenses, was on hand as the House of Delegates considered overriding the governor's veto of 3 bills passed during the 2015 legislative session. Among them, a bill which will allow convicted felons to vote following their release rather than having to wait until after they complete their parole.
I want to cry because I actually now moving toward having that power, to doing the right thing and showing not only to society but passing on a legacy to my family that we are part of the process.